Hey, this is Gene. Just finished doing that other video about McGuire, but got some stuff from the team. Mark has already talked about it, but apparently Sancho is not going to be able to train around the first team anymore. They're going to be out on his own, doing his own personalized training. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm sure there'll be a coach over there with him. Uh, Probably, get him to do what he's supposed to do on the pitch. I don't know. It's not shocking. I think it's probably expected. This player said something on social media, um, left it up for over a week, had a conversation with the coach, still left it up, and then yesterday take it down. We're hearing rumors that people above Ten Hag have been involved. That happens when you have a player that's cost this country or that country, the club, over 100 million. When you look at salaries and the transfer fee, so it's not shocking that there might be people above him talking to him. I just think that maybe the entire time, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I thought he was a good player at Dortmund. I didn't think he was worth the investment. I thought we had players already at that position, but we got him in. The issue is the recruitment side of it. Did we not know the other issues that he had at Dortmund? I mean, they were public. Uh, he called himself a scapegoat before. There was issues with him not showing up when he should show up. He had a problem with time management. These are out there, open sources that anybody could have checked. I imagine that at some point that somebody asked that question and they probably were told from Dortmund that no, he's so much better right now, so it's not really an issue anymore. But apparently it came from Dortmund, and Ali probably allowed it. I don't know, was Ali even here? Yeah, it was under him. So he probably allowed it to a point because the talent was thought to be immense. But people forget that Dortmund team had or Bellingham and also had a Holland. So you have those two players around them. They're going to might do a little bit better. Other players are concerned about them, and they give you the ball and opens up a lot of areas. He's still talented, no question. But at the elite level, at the highest elite level, you have to have all of it. You just cannot decide you're going to show up to practice when you want to. It reminds me, I'm an older guy here, but there was a great point guard in the NBA called Allen Iverson, and he had issues as well. And there's a whole thing. There's a video, you can find it, and he says, "We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. I don't, if I'm not doing enough, because it's practice. I'll show up on the game. I'll be the best you ever see in the game." And I think that Sancho has the same type of mentality. And the problem is he hasn't been that good. He's had a couple really good performances over the years, but nowhere where he should be based on the talent that he apparently has. And okay, I'm in the United States, and I'm going to tell you that if this was a player here and he played in NBA or MLB or something like that, and we found out that he was not showing up for practices, and he was either just showing up late and not really ready to go, that there would be a group of people that would say, well, that's just whiteness incorporated. That that showing up on time is a structure of whiteness. And people think I'm crazy. Just look it up. Look at what showing up to work on time, and just put whiteness next to it, and you'll get all these academics saying that it's rooted in white supremacy, that we have to show up on time to go to work, go to our appointments. And you can make any characterizations of this, and some of it will be 100% true. But why would they even say something like that? Well, that's a Western culture thing of being showing up on time to do stuff. Fortunately, he is in England. There might still be people saying there's some sort of a racial thing here, that he's not, allowed to be himself or something. But we all felt bad about him after he lost or he missed the point penalties against England, Italy. We wanted him to come back and play well, and he did at times for United. But the dude has got an issue. And we talk about, and everybody else has been talking about Maguire, saying that he's not been told no his entire life. Well, there was nobody that ever would have said that, even though Maguire signed for about the similar amount of money, the talent level and what we looked at Sancho and Maguire, it's not the same. And I don't want to compare them because they're two different types of situations. I don't think that anybody could say that Maguire is not trying in training, that he does not show up, that he's not leading people out and during training. My issue as a veteran of the team, and at this point, Sancho would be. He's been there a couple of years. He should be a leader. He's the guy that gets the most money for the most part. He should be the first one there, and if he's not, he needs to be out there when all the young guys are coming to train with the first team. He should be letting them out, talking to them, saying this is what you need to do to get to the next level, that type of thing. That's what leadership means. And I think this all kind of started happening when Ronaldo came in. And I think one of the good things that Ronaldo did, he said, you have to do this to be at the elite level. And some people on the team, it could have been with Maguire, they said there was a click when it comes to that. Didn't like the fact that Ronaldo was coming in and say, do it my way, because this is how you get to the next level. And I wanted that to happen. I wouldn't have cared if they would have given Ronaldo the badge, however, or the captaincy. But Ronaldo, because he's such a narcissist, he killed himself at the end. And he didn't want to blame anybody else but everybody else. He said the club didn't have the right facilities and also this stuff. That has nothing to do with him to showing up and doing what he needs to do on the pitch and following the tactics that the manager wanted. But back to Sancho. He's had this issue for a long time. Clearly we knew this was going on, and we still bought him anyway. And I know that they did because this has been going on. I'm sure that there was somebody that actually had to call him up in the morning to make sure he was up so he'd show up to training, and still that wasn't enough. And then what do you do at that point? Do you actually send a human over there to pick him up, to make sure he shows up? The issue is that he would just show up probably and just show up on time, but still not be ready. And then what you're doing then is you're disrespecting the other players that are ready to go, to do what they need to do, to be ready for the next game, because that's just not what you're seeing on the pitch as far as them doing their drills and stuff. They also go in and they have study and all stuff like that. I'm sure there was issues that he wasn't doing what he needed to do there. He probably sleeping, shit like that. And we don't know, but it was something that's so disrespectful. And what we're hearing that from some of the players now that that's how they felt by him. So it is what it is at this point. He's still young. He can still get back. And but the problem is he really the profile of the team, the player that we need? He can be, but he has to change 100% the other way. And we're just in a bad position again that we're not going to be able to sell him based on the fact that he makes so much money. And we might have to actually pay him to leave. I think we did that with Ronaldo. And we're going to do that with Maguire. And it's unfortunate, but that's where we're at. I think we'll be fine. I think Palestri will be fine over there. Garnacho will go over there, and so can Mount and even Bruno. Personally, I would start with Palestri. But it's just funny. I said I was going to say something about Sancho later in the week, and then this came out that he wasn't training with the rest of the team. And I guess we got some of the players back from, they're already back from international stuff. So this is where it was going to go. I mean, the guy would not get rid of that post. He still had it on for another day after he talked to Ten Hag. This was just him saying, I don't care. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to show that I'm in the power here. Well, you're not. So you're just going to be sitting on the bench, and you're going to still get your money, but you're not going to be able to sign for like one of the better teams. People are not going to take you because now you have a record of not doing the simplest thing is the showing up. My question is, I'm sure he shows up to the clubs he goes to, and if he was on vacation, I'm sure he shows up to the airport on time to get there. I would like to know if maybe he has that issue. He doesn't. Maybe he's missed 3 or 4 flights on his own. But I'm sure it's more than just. I mean, I think he actually protected the players, saying that, look, at training he wasn't at the top compared to the other guys, so that's why I'm doing that. He didn't talk. He didn't say he didn't show up there, that he was late, that he had all these issues. He didn't say anything about that. It only came out because Sancho had to put that on Twitter, and now we move on from that. And it's nothing but drama, and it's what happens when we go through interactual break, and they're always going to talk about Manchester United, regardless of where we shit in the league. They're still going to talk about us because so many pundits hate us because for so long we were the best, and they hated the fact that the referees basically gave us every decision in their mind, and because we had the money and we bought all these players, and that's why. But anyway, let me know what you think about Sancho in the comments. What do you think? Should we sell him in January? No one's going to take him. We're going to have to pay half of his salary if he goes on loan somewhere. We're going to have to pay at least half of that. And of course, he can go anywhere. He's a type of player that would play really well in Spain. The culture's probably more open to not showing up on time, I guess. I mean, it's just so stupid. The guy, he could clearly buy somebody. You could find somebody that would just be your bud and make sure that you're up in the morning and take you there. As much money as he gives a guy $1,000 a week just to make sure that he's there every day. It's not that hard. And I'm sure the club probably would have paid for it anyway. And I'm sure they did that. And at some point, as a manager, it's like, this guy is not doing what I want him to do on the pitch. And then he's just disrespecting everybody else when he shows up late. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk about it. You guys have a good day, and goodbye.